Charmedwench here and welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to review another face mask, and we're probably just going to have a little chit chat as well while we're doing it, more like a, I suppose, a story time, I guess. Thought I'd just try something a bit different. Generally I can talk for England, so I'm going to talk about something while I'm wearing this sheet mask. So today's sheet mask, as you can tell by the title, is the Garnier Skin Active Moisture Bomb Tissue Mask. That is what that looks like. Now I'm pretty sure I've either used, there's two different types, there's this one and another one. I think there's two. One is just like a purely moisturising one, but this one, it also says that it intensely rehydrates the skin and reduces the look of fine lines, so I'm all about that at the minute. I need that. It has pomegranate extract and hyaluronic acid and plant serum. So basically you put this on for 15 minutes and then your skin is left feeling hydrated and smoother, and your complexion is more radiant, and that's in 15 minutes. And it says within a week, if you keep using these, I don't know how often you can use them, it says within a week your fine lines appear reduced, your skin looks plumper, and your skin radiance is revitalised, which sounds awesome to me. I'm totally going to enjoy that. I'm just seeing if it says how long, because obviously I only do one mask a week. I don't do more than that because I just think it might just be too much for your skin, but this one doesn't say. So yeah, I'm going to pop this on for 15 minutes and we'll just have a little chat and see how it goes. I have used one of these before and I do like it, but I haven't tried the fine lines one, so I'm going to try that out because I need it. Right, so let's get into it. There's always so much serum on these as well, absolutely tons. It has like two sheets, so we put it this way on, I think, and then peel off the front sheet. So it smells really good, so let's just whack it on. Wow, the eye holes are really small on this. My nose doesn't even reach it. Right, well that's quite scary. Where is my face? Right, let's just take this sheet thing off and see if we can make this work, because I look like, what's that film? The Man in the Iron Mask right now. Right, that's better. Take that off. Pop that on there. There's a whole lot of serum. This is definitely going to be moisturising. I always freak out when it touches that top lip. It just feels weird. Right. Totally going to have to do my hair after this because it's in my hairline. Right. Press that down everywhere. It does have like little tabs there, so you can sort of stretch it up. So it's all attached to your entire face. The nose is a little bit strange though. So that is there, that is on. Loads of serum, just like the last one. Just dry my hands up. And then we'll set this for 15 minutes and then we shall have a little chat. So I think in today's video I will talk about like a few things that I'm interested in outside of makeup, so that you guys can get to know me a little bit better. Things that you probably didn't know about me, things that I don't dabble in as much now, but obviously I used to. Obviously being touching on alternative medicine and things like crystal healing and aromatherapy, things that I am qualified in. I'm not qualified in crystal healing, I'm qualified in aromatherapy, reflexology, Swedish massage, what else am I qualified in other than beauty? So I'm qualified in a few alternative medicines, but I also find, as people would say, the weirder stuff really interesting. Things like spirits and ghosts and energy and things like that. I love all that stuff and I've always been interested in stuff like that. So I thought I would tell you about, I've had a few experience with spirits. Some people don't believe in it, some people do. My belief is that yes, there is spirits, you can connect with spirit. that's just how I feel. Some people don't believe that, so if you don't want to hear me talk about that, you might want to skip to my thoughts on the mask at the end. But in fact, I'll leave that in the description below when I stop talking and just tell you about the mask, because some people just don't believe in it and it's just not their thing. So yeah, I've had quite a few experiences with spirit and things like that, and interactions, and so I thought I might share that with you guys, see if you like it. If you do, let me know. If you want me to tell you about my other experiences that I've had, then I am more than happy to do that. So yeah, it's going to sound really strange now when I start talking about this, because usually I'm used to talking about makeup. So obviously I don't know whether anybody knows about crystals. I should have brought mine up with me. I do own a dowsing pendulum. So if you don't know what a dowsing pendulum is, it's basically a crystal that is on a chain generally. Sometimes they're not crystals, sometimes they're other things. It just depends on the person. Everybody's different. I actually have a dowsing crystal, and it's basically, the best way to describe a dowsing pendulum is it helps a person connect with energies and spirit, and it's kind of like a transmittery type thing and receiver for things, so it can give you answers to things that you may want to know, but it also, I won't go too in depth with it unless you guys want me to, but it for me, I've used it more so to ask it questions or to speak with spirits that aren't with us anymore, or you can use it to speak with energies and spirits that are not here anymore, that are not with us. So I have used it for that in the past, not very often. I've only used it a couple of times to do that, and obviously you can also ask it. Basically, a dowser swings. I really should have brought it up. A dowser itself, it hangs on the chain, and it will move in a certain direction to give you an answer for a yes, and it will move in a certain direction to give you a no, and then it actually also does something else if it doesn't know the answer to a question. I really should have brought it up, so in fact I will bring it up in a bit once I go and take this mask off. I'll bring it up at the end and show you guys how it works for me. So yeah, so that's how a dowser works. It's more for like picking up on energy, getting answers to questions, and that's what I've used it for in the past. Me personally, I don't ask it questions that I shouldn't know the answers to in my, like if I want to know about my future, I don't ask it things like that, like, oh, am I going to be a millionaire? I never ask things like that, because that's just a silly thing to ask. But if it's general questions, then, you know, and more so if you're connecting with the spirit world, you can get answers. They can connect with you through the dowser and give you the answers to the questions you need. This is going to go on for ages, but I'm going to try and keep it as simple as I can, and I'll just get straight into the story. So my mom works as a cleaner in an old building. I won't say where it is, but it's an old building in our town, and she has worked there forever and ever, and I think they started to do a bit of renovation in the property, in the building that it is, and strange things started happening. She would say that she would be washing up and she would feel something blowing on the back of her neck. She said that she would go into certain rooms and she just felt that there was something there was something watching her, that she just generally felt uncomfortable, and it was constant to the point where it made, and my mom's not the kind of person to get that uncomfortable about things, and it just made her on edge, and she just felt uneasy. I think one of the rooms, she said she'd go in there, and obviously it's a building you can't smoke in because it's a business, and she said she could smell cigars in one of the rooms, which was a library, and so she was just generally, she just was not comfortable. It made her so uncomfortable to the point where she just didn't want to go into work, because she was the only one there of an evening cleaning it. So I said I would go around, just check all the rooms, clear any negative energy out, and generally just, you know, see what I could find. So I spoke to a few, because I'm not an expert in this, guys. I am nowhere near an expert in this sort of thing. It's more just a little bit of a, it was like a little bit of a hobby. I haven't done it for a while. Other things have obviously took over. So I said I'd go around and have a little look. I spoke to people who are you know their stuff about it, they kind of give me some hints on what to do and what not to do. And so I went around the building and had a little look. So yeah, I went in, and there were quite a lot of rooms in this building. And as I was going around with my dowsing pendulum and asking it questions, it was coming up with a lot of answers from the spirit. I picked up on, I think it was a couple of females energies who were there, and they were quite happy to answer any questions that I had, obviously through the dowser. And yeah, they were quite happy. But one of the rooms that I went into, which was the one that my mum said she could smell cigars in, and obviously nobody smokes, so we know that, you know, it just didn't make sense. The one room that I went into, there was a very, very negative energy in there, and it was a man. From what he told me, he was not happy about me being there. He was not happy about me using the dowser, to the point where he would make it spin uncontrollably and not give me answers to questions that I wanted to know. I was asking him if he was ready to leave. He was just not happy. He just was really, really not happy with me being there. So I just thought, okay, I won't push it too much. I will just clear the building as best as I can. Now, when it comes to clearing negative energy in a building, most of the time people use those smudging sticks. I don't know whether anybody knows what they are. I will link it in the description box below if you do want to know. But they give off quite a lot of smoke, and because it was a business, it has fire issues, so I just thought I can't do that. So I spoke to somebody, and beforehand, because obviously I knew it was a business I was going into, and they said to use incense because there was less smoke from that. And I think they recommended jasmine. I'm not 100% sure because it was a lot of years ago now, but I will link that in the box below once I've double checked it. And basically I was just advised to go into every corner of every room all the way around the building with these incense, just to try and dispel any negative energy, and just generally tell the spirits that it's okay, and if they're ready to move on. But obviously they were making my mom feel uncomfortable. But generally with spirits, if you say it, as crazy as it sounds, it does sound crazy, but generally with spirit, if you say out loud, you're making me very uncomfortable, can you please leave, a lot of the time that it will stop, they will leave you alone. But obviously sometimes that's not always the case. But yeah, so I went around the entire building, did all the clearing as best as I could, especially in that library room, and then I left it and went back later on, went back around all the rooms to check that if anything was still going on, and all the rooms pretty much came up with there was no spirit present, or if they were, they weren't coming forward and letting me know. And especially that one library room, it had dispelled everything that I could find. And to be honest, since then nothing has happened, like up until recently. Something's recently happened that my mum mentioned to me the other day, which she hasn't told me until the other day. It was like literally yesterday when I was talking to her about it, which is why I've probably come on and chatted to you guys about it. But up until that point, it's been years and years later. Like, it's been a lot of years, and nothing has happened. So I think, or I hope, I did a pretty good job at getting rid of any of the negative energies, or just helping the energy that was there to sort of either move on or just settle. So yeah, obviously, like I said, I am not an expert. Don't come at me in the comments below and say you should have done this, I'm not really very, very, very experienced in it. I obviously only know a little bit about it, so I was just doing what I was told to do by people that did know. So yeah, that's why I did that. But yeah, up until this point recently, nothing negative has happened. It's been fine. And now my daughter works there as well. So my mum and daughter go in together of an evening and obviously clean. My mum has been mentioning recently, and my daughter, that they've been feeling a little bit uncomfortable, but I think it's personally just because they know what's been in there in the past, and they're probably just thinking about it again, and that's probably why. But my mum did say that she'd been going into a certain room, not the one with the negative energy in, to a certain room, and she was finding scratches on her arm. If she had her sleeves up, she said she could guarantee that there would be the odd scratch, and she just felt that whoever it is didn't want her messing in there and cleaning, so she just carried on cleaning. She doesn't feel uncomfortable to the point that she's scared to go into work like she was before, so she's obviously okay with it. I've told her how to deal with it, obviously, by saying, you know, you're making me uncomfortable, please stop, please leave. So she's okay with it at the minute. I mean, if anything else happens, I can always let you guys know, but for now it's all okay. So what I will do is I will sort of, again, because I've sort of rambled, I hope I've explained it as best as I can, and it was interesting to hear. I have had other experiences, but this one was more so me helping my mum out just to get rid of any negative energy in her house. I have had spirits in a previous house to this one, who used to turn my cooker on, which I wasn't very happy about. I'm an electric meter, so I can't afford to waste electricity. If you're going to turn my oven on, that's going to irritate me, but that's a different story. If you want to know about that one, I can always tell you. So I have had other experiences, but this one was quite a big one because it was a big building, and I had to sort of go around and do my best to sort of help my mum feel better. So, and she seems okay, so I think I did an okay job. So if anybody has experience with spirits, let me know what yours are in the comments below. If you do that sort of thing, if you have a dowsing pendulum, I have dowsers, I do tarot cards, things, well, not tarot, they're Doreen Virtue cards. I don't know whether anybody would know what they are, but I have a lot of Doreen Virtue cards. Absolutely love them, because they're not like normal tarot cards. They're a little bit, I don't know how to explain it, they're a little bit, they haven't got like death cards and things like that, and they're not all weird and spooky like that. They're just really good cards, and you can always get a really good reading out of them. And I've read for quite a few people. Haven't done it in a little while. I've read for myself recently, but yeah, so I have all these little weird interests going on the sidelines. I do own a crystal ball. I don't know how to do it. I would love to know how to do that. I love the idea of palm reading, and I've like read books and things on it, and I find it really interesting. Generally anything weird like that I'm into. I like it, I can't help it. And crystals and the energy that you can get from crystals, and they have the healing properties, stuff like that. So yeah, that was a bit of a weird rambly time consuming. We've gone over our 15 minutes now, but yeah, that was my story time about connecting with a little bit of the spirit world. So it's been 15 minutes now, so I am going to take this mask off, and I will come back, talk about the mask, and then I will show you my dowsing pendulum so you guys can see it for yourself. And yeah, so I'll be back in a minute. Right guys, I am back. It's been a little bit longer than 15 minutes. Needed a baby to be settled, so I just slipped away, did that, and come back. So I will just give you my overall thoughts on the mask. So my thoughts on the mask, I just love these masks. The Garnier Moisture Bomb masks, obviously I said I'd used one previously. I just like the way these feel on your skin, and obviously you're not going to notice an instant fine lines disappearance on your face, but I just love how moisturized your skin feels after you've used these. Obviously there's a lot of serum on them, and they're just my skin just loves them, it really does. And the fact that it focuses on the fine lines, I will definitely be getting more of these ones, because I have a few fine lines here and a few starting to come over here that I would like some help with. It's my birthday next week. My fine lines, I'm gonna be 38 next week, so you know, for a 38-year-old I don't think my skin is too bad. But obviously I've had a few breakouts from probably just being pregnant and my skin just being all over the place, but now it's starting to settle down, and it actually feels really good considering I haven't had a lot of sleep lately. My skin looks really good for it, so I will definitely be using these masks again. I really love them, and for the price they're just a bargain. I think it was £1.99 yeah, it was £1.99 in Savers, but I know you can get these in Superdrugs and Boots and places like that. They're really easy to get hold of, and they're just really good value masks for money. There's a lot of serum in these masks, and my skin absorbed quite a lot of it. There was a little bit obviously quite left over, which I tend to rub everywhere, but my skin just loves these, so I will continue to use them, and I highly recommend them. So on to the second thing I said. I was talking about dowsing pendulums. I have brought mine upstairs so you guys can see what a dowsing pendulum looks like. I mean, you may have seen it if there is people out there that watch the program Charmed. You know that they hold it over a map to locate people, but this is what my dowsing pendulum looks like. That is what it looks like there. Really pretty. I think it's labradorite. I think that's how you pronounce it, or labradite, something like that. The way it works with dowsers, the way that I was taught by a lady who sold crystals, she said it's not you that chooses the dowser, it's the dowser that chooses you. And when I first saw this one, I instantly was drawn to it. I don't know why. You know, you guys know I love pinks and things like that, but the colour of this, I don't know, there was just something about it. It just drew me in, and I needed to buy it. So I bought it, and weirdly I lost it. Well, I thought I'd lost it a little while back, so I bought a replacement which was just not the same, and literally as soon as I bought the replacement one, this one turned back up. So obviously it's meant to be mine. So I will kind of show you quickly how it works in the sense of the yes and no answers, and if it doesn't know the answer to a question, just so you guys can see, you know, if you're interested. If not, I hope you enjoyed the video on the Moisture Bomb mask. But yeah, so I will just ask, you can, with the dowser, you can either ask a question in your head or ask it out loud. Okay, so I will show you guys. For me, my dowser, because they all move in different ways to answer the questions, it's how, you know, it tells you and communicates with you. For me, if it's the answer of yes, my dowser will spin round clockwise. If it's an answer of no, my dowser will swing backwards and forwards. And if it doesn't know the answer, then it will tend to sort of go still and almost like it shakes. So I will just show you guys so you can see. Hopefully you can see it on camera. Yeah, so I'll ask out loud for it to show me the answer for a yes. So show me the answer for yes. Show me the answer for yes. Yes. Show me the answer for yes. So you guys can see that it's spinning around in a clockwise way. That is my dowser showing me the answer for a yes. Obviously I'm not moving my hand, just the dowser's doing its own thing. So now, show me the answer for no. Show me the answer for no. Show me the answer for no. So as you can see, it's backwards and forwards for me. That's how it knows that it's a no answer to the question. So now, show me the answer if you don't know. Show me if you don't know. Show me if you don't know. Show me if you don't know. If you don't know. I don't know whether my camera can pick up the shake that it's doing, but that's generally how my crystal goes if it doesn't know the answer to a question. So I will throw in a question and then see if it answers it correctly. Right, obviously at the minute I'm 37 years old, so I'll just throw a random question in about my age and then see if it gives me a yes or no. So, am I going to turn 50? Am I going to turn 50? Am I going to turn 50 next week? Hopefully my camera's picking this up, but obviously it's giving me a no answer because it's going backwards and forwards. Am I 38 next week? Am I 38? So there you go guys, you can see it spins round to give me the answer of a yes, because obviously next week I am 38. So yeah, that's the answer to that. So that was just a quick show you guys of my dowser pendulum. I haven't reached for it in a little while. I'm really sorry, dowser, but you know, I used to be really into using it, and crystals. I've always loved crystals. You guys know I always wear my rose quartz around my neck. I tend to have sort of, you know, the odd thing. I don't wear loads of jewellery. This never comes off. But yeah, I absolutely love crystals, and have since I was since I was very young. They've always fascinated me, and I didn't even know about the energy healing side of crystals until obviously I got a lot older and had crystal healing therapy and things like that, which is awesome, by the way. If you've never had crystal healing, it is the most amazing experience I've ever had. I actually got visited by spirit whilst having a crystal healing treatment. It was my nan came to visit me when I was having a treatment, which was so surreal. And when I was having it, apparently I sort of jumped as I felt my nan's presence around me. I sort of lifted and jumped off the bed a little bit, but because I just wasn't expecting it. I was so relaxed and in such a good, you know, state of mind and state of place, it just sort of happened. So yeah, that's a whole other story. But yeah, so that is my little chat try on review of the Garnier Moisture Bomb. I really hope you enjoyed this video and that you found it interesting. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you want to know anything, if I can answer it, just let me know in the comments below, and I will answer whatever I can, however I can. Hopefully I haven't I've explained things quite well, but what I will do is in the description box below I will link information. If you are interested in pendulums and crystals, I will link websites below that will explain in depthly and not in my novice kind of way how pendulums, dowsers work, and things about spirits. If you're interested, I'll link some things down below that I find really interesting, and you guys can go check it out for yourselves, which will explain it a lot better than I have. So yeah, that was my little review slash chit chat and story time. If you enjoyed it, like I said, give me a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and see what else there is to come. But other than that, guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye.